I had students in Lisbon last year, and one of them said, I had the best night dancing of my life. And I said, did you even do Saida? No. So you don't need to, once you have the basic moves, the nicest dance for me as a woman will always have is the easy one. When a guy is doing all this and that and all the moves, it's and you don't know what's going to happen next. It's terrible. But if a guy
Wait, hold on. All right, I am now on the line with a Miss Claire O Meara, who is a Kizomba, Semba, Afro, as well as a Jenga instructor, as well as choreographer. You are a part of the Kizomba Embassy Ambassador program based out of Ireland. Is that correct?
yeah, actually, Kizomba Embassy's in Washington D.C., so it's in
Oh, I'm saying,
America.
oh yeah, yeah, but you're based out of Ireland.
Oh, I'm in Ireland. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm in the
yeah,
West of Ireland. Yeah.
yeah. Sure, no. You're right, but you're right. That is a DC program. Um, you've been dancing Kizomba, you said, for the past 7 or 8 years. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
started dance close to where I live, and before that I had no confidence. I like to dance and salsa and Latin dance, but when found Kizomba, I was like, oh my God, this dance. So totally, after a few years, I felt I had to bring it to my town. So yeah,
okay, that's
so I
awesome. That's awesome.
teacher just happened. Yeah.
And you said you also have a background in Afro Latin dances as well, correct?
Yes, yes. I live my trade and my growing up. I ride and train horses. So I moved to Florida when I was 20, and because like I was young, I wanted to party and go dance, and there was the only nightclubs were Latin clubs, so I had to learn to dance very young. So I used to go to the gym, and there was a salsa teacher from Dominican Republic, and I used to learn bachata, salsa, learn the rhythms and everything. And she go, ladies, go for Miami and dance and practice. And so this is when I begin to dance. So that's a long time ago. That's over 20 years ago now. So yeah.
Okay. Sure enough. So that means you have a vast wealth of knowledge that you could give to people.
Yeah, it's yeah, because it was something I brought to Ireland, but I never really tell people I dance. It was something I done, but I never really speak about. And then I started to go to a Latin club in the city beside where I live in Limerick, and this is where I found Kizomba, and so yeah, it was amazing. It was like the power of the dance came into me. I wasn't that confident at the time, because I had moved home from America, and um, everything seemed to make sense once I found Kizomba. It becomes a way of life, and this dance comes into your body and sinks into your genes. So yeah, so this is when I kind of got obsessed with Kizomba, because it makes me feel so good. So I want to share this and have more of it all the time. So yeah.
And I definitely understand that. I definitely understand that. I think I told you before we started. I have a background in salsa as well as bachata, and I do a little bit of Brazilian zouk. But kizomba is easily my favorite dance style. So I definitely understand what you mean. I definitely understand that.
Well, it,
Real
it,
quick,
it gave me so much confidence. I felt I could help other people with this dance. I say I'm not different, so if I can bring this dance to my town, and because I used to have to travel, right? Because Kizomba's kind of exploded in Europe only in the last few years, so it was quite new here. So I wanted to bring it here. So yeah, so that's another. We can talk about that as well. So yeah, how I bring it to my little town.
yeah, we'll definitely get into it. I'm curious. I think I told you. I don't think I've had anyone on the show from Ireland, so I really appreciate you taking time to come talk to me today. Thank you so much for that.
Oh, it's all my pleasure. Thank you for asking me. It's
Hey,
always
of
an honor.
course.
It's
Um,
always an honor.
All right, sure enough, sure enough. I really want to. I guess I want to start this out. I would love to hear from you. Um, what was your childhood like growing up in Ireland?
My father works in the airline business, so we always had a very international upbringing. My dad spent a lot of time in Africa, working in. He worked a lot in the Congo, Zaire back then, and Kenya. So he traveled a lot. So we always had a very international upbringing and very open. So yeah, I've three older brothers, and they travel as well with their work. So. Yeah, so my father's a musician. He plays the clarinet and saxophone. And my mom met my father. My father was in a band because everybody back in the 40s or 50s, they used to dance in show bands. So my dad met my mom. My mom was hitching, for a lift with her friends up in the north of Ireland, and my dad's band collected them. And my mom used to love to dance, and my dad was in the band. So I think the music and dance was always in me. And then when I was 10, my dad brought me to Africa because he was working for a long time in Kenya. So I got to go to Nairobi. So this was I remember on the plane, and we traveled, and when I was coming home from Kenya, I was crying, and my mom would say, what's wrong? I say, we fly over the Sahara Desert, and I say, maybe I never returned to Africa. The people, and I was only 10, but I never forget this moment crying on the plane leaving Africa. And I never thought years later I'd be teaching African dance and, being immersed so much in the culture. But yeah, it shows that travel and when parents give an open mind to children growing up, it stays with you. So yeah, that was some of my upbringing. Yeah.
I'm curious. I guess what growing up in Ireland, what was the popular music genre, and what kind of dance styles did you all dance? Why are your parents, I guess?
Well, here is very popular. It was um for us. It was mainstream music. Gloria Estefan and the Miami Sound Machine were my first tape I ever got. So something went wrong with me. I was always the other way. Um, if My parents would have danced like rock and roll and all this type of music. My father loves jazz, but where the part of Ireland where I live in the west of Ireland, in County Clare, Irish music and Irish dance is huge all over the world. So you've heard river dance, and it's everywhere. So St. Patrick's Day. Everybody has some Irish in them. We're a small country, but we're everywhere. Anytime there's a natural disaster, there's an Irish person. There's two Irish people in the most random places. We're everywhere, and there's only 4 million people in Ireland. So, but we travel. So uh, but where I live is traditional music, and the heritage and roots really come from where I live. So I think this also helped me when I teach Kizomba to respect and appreciate the roots of Kizomba and where it came from, because in where I live in our dance is everywhere, but the roots are here. So it's part of what we have in with traditional Irish music here. So and I understand maybe, and I'm aware of this more coming from the west of Ireland with the music and everything. Yeah.
Okay, okay, I definitely understand that. I'm very curious to ask you. Since you have grown up in Ireland for majority of your life, I'm curious. Can you put into words how has Ireland changed from your youth to the person you are today? Has it changed at all?
Oh, when I went to Africa, I had never seen a black person in my life. I sat in Heathrow Airport, and I was like, wow, there's all black people from America. And by the time, like, it was just, Ireland was very small and closed off because it's a small island. So And when I returned I moved to America when I was 20, and when I moved home when I was 30. But as I was away, the country just opened up in Europe, and we have so many people from Brazil, from Africa, thousands of people from all over the world, but so many African people here. And for a small country, I mean, we're everywhere. We're a country of immigrants in Ireland, so but it's lovely to see so many cultures here, and it's embraced here as well, you know. So Ireland is people from China, from Africa, from Brazil, from South America, all over the world. It's lovely. So yeah, it's really gotten more diverse, and the music and culture and everything. Yeah, it's a very different place. So it's nice, you know. Some old people, you know, it was just Ireland was always sheltered and closed off island. So but now it's very multicultural, very diverse. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. You you kind of mentioned this earlier, but I would love to hear about this. I guess how did you get into I guess horse training? What is it called? Esquitarian? What is it called?
Oh,
Or just
equestrian.
equestrian. There it is.
Oh my
My fault.
God.
My fault.
Well, in Ireland, along with music, the horses. It was since I was very small. I always ride horses, and I show jump, you know, over jumps, and so I was a professional show jumper, and then when I moved to America, I was an international groom. So I was working all over, traveling Europe and Ireland with international show jumping horses, and then the winters here are really cold, and you have to train the young horses, and they're dangerous. So everybody goes to America for the winter time, so you don't have to make the young horses, and it's safe. So this is how I go to Florida with my friend for 3 months, and I thought, oh, this is great. I'm going to move here. So I emigrate then to South Florida, because they have lots of equestrian in just outside West Palm Beach. So, but when I get there, there's no like nightclubs like Ireland where we love to go dancing and party. So yeah, this is where I start to dance, and I had to learn Spanish, and I had to learn to dance to have social life. So it was really good. It was nice. Yeah, different. Yeah.
Real quick. I want you. I don't really get to talk to too many horse trainers, so I'm very curious. What do you mean by you said the younger horses were dangerous? Is that because they weren't like
Yeah,
broken in? I guess.
yeah, because they've never been ridden. So we have to train them to be ridden, and then they start to buck and bronk like cowboy horses. So, and you don't like this. This isn't nice. So it's kind of dangerous. So nobody likes. We call here in Ireland breaking season in the winter time, and this is it's horrible. So
Oh wait, so real
really.
quick, are I don't know what you call them. Are baby horses normally born in the winter, or why is that strictly reserved for the winter?
No, it's just in the summertime here we'd be at horse shows with the good horses that show jump. So the winter time you have time to prepare the young horses then. So yeah. So that's
Okay,
time to say bye bye to the cold weather and skedaddle.
okay, I
Yeah.
get you, I get you. So let
Well,
me ask you this then. Let me ask you this, and I'm very curious to hear. So you said that you immigrated to America when you were 20. Is that correct?
yeah, yeah.
I, I'm very curious to hear from you. Can you put into words the differences as well as the similarities between the United States of America, and Ireland?
Um, there's always been a strong connection between Ireland and America, probably because there's so many immigrants from Ireland in America. so, so there's always been a strong tie there. Yeah, it's quite similar. Like music and fashion, food, everything. Yeah, they'd be quite similar, Ireland and America. Yeah, we have a lot. There's a lot of, I suppose, um, lots. Everybody wants to be in America. So, oh, I'm third generation Irish, or so we have lots of visitors to Ireland, and so it's a nice mix between the two countries. Because in Europe, Ireland is next stop is America. So we're very close to, you know, to the, it's the next stop in the Atlantic. So yeah.
Okay, I get you. I definitely understand that. I definitely do. So, so you know, you're 20. You immigrate to the U.S. to you South Florida. Um, you say you start working with a bunch of South Americans, right? Is that correct? And I
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
tell me this. You say you started to take you started learning to dance, started learning to speak Spanish and everything. I'm very curious to hear from you. Tell me about your beginner stage learning salsa and the Afro Latin dances. What was that like for you?
And I remember going to clubs and to learn the difference between salsa, bachata. The rhythms were so foreign. So it's so important to learn the rhythms of the. I have to confiscate the toy. To learn the rhythms of the different dances and the claves. So this was a challenge and just to practice and everything. But yeah, you have to really put the time into the music and the ear, listen to the music and listen to the rhythms and the beats is so important for I really remember this as a challenge to learn to just know the difference. And I still see sometimes in Ireland people say, "What's this?" If it's salsa and they don't want to do 5, 6, 7, want it so they have to it does take a long time to learn the different rhythms and everything. And even recently teaching like Kizomba, learning, I've been doing a lot of work with Master Pechu this year with traditional African dance, and I find the same challenges now learning like Numbolo and Kilapanga, all these new different rhythms. It takes long but you just have to listen, absorb, let the music in, pay attention to the beats and harmonies of the rhythms. It's so important.
Yeah, okay, I definitely understand that. Um, you kind of already said a couple of things, but real quick for somebody who is currently in their beginner stage, whether that be salsa, bachata, kizomba, ballroom, whatever it may be, can you give me just, 2 or 3 tips, what can help them get through this tough initial phase?
I always say when people message me to come to class, it's hard to put yourself out there. So I always say the hardest thing is to walk through the door. So sometimes I go downstairs in from the bar I work and have my classes, and I meet the people outside and I take them through the door with them. So it's for me as a teacher, confidence is everything. So confidence for a teacher is you should never take somebody's confidence away from them. It's important to build confidence because you have to put time into this, and it's precious, because if you come, it's the personal, you're building on your personal life, which is so important. So for beginners, I'd say don't go through the front door and don't give up. If you struggle with steps, I've struggled learning. Don't give up, and for 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 people, just build your confidence and try to believe in yourself. And a good teacher will believe in their students. It might take them a year to learn something or 2 years, but they'll get there. We don't go to dance because we want to compete in the Olympics. We go to dance because we like to go and switch off from our daily life, and it's fun. So it's so important to enjoy it. And if you don't know that step, that's okay. You learn, it'll come. When the music it'll all come together. So enjoy the journey, but don't give up, I'd say. Yeah.
Hey, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect. Um, so yeah, you said you're working in South Florida, uh, learning to dance and everything. Well, I guess were you just a horse trainer by day and a social dancer by night? Is that kind of how your life was at that time?
Well, I was for 10 years, for the last 5 years, I work in polo. I train polo ponies. and we have siesta. So we start work at 5 a.m. So I used to work it from 5 to 10, and from 5 to 10, and then 10 to 2 we'd have siesta time, and then go back to from 2 to 5 to look after the horses. So I used to go to bed at 6 o'clock, and I'd get up at 12 o'clock, make a shower, go dancing from 1 o'clock to 4:30 a.m., go back to work. So we used to go dance all night, and then, go straight home, take the horses out, look after them, then sleep during the day. But you can
um
do that when you're young, so.
yeah, exactly. You're right. You're definitely right. So but I imagine that was a great way to level up, to improve yourself as a dancer, right? Just consistently going day after day, night after night, correct?
Yeah, and listening to the music, and yeah, but I mean, you start, and like you see people, they go to parties and they're new to dance, and they haven't a clue. But once they're having fun, that's okay. And then, they might come and they'll start to learn and take a little bit more serious and come to class. But it's important to keep learning. I'm a teacher with my own dance company for 5 years. I still take classes. I still learn, so nobody knows everything. It's important to be humble, and it's important to keep learning and take classes, when they're there, especially I'm not African, I'm not from Angola. So it's important for me to learn more, and, develop my skills as well. So yeah, it's always, we learn every day. Every day we learn something new. So anybody that thinks they know everything, they don't know anything, because we keep learning, so this is life. Yeah.
Oh, that is something that I will wholeheartedly agree with. That I think it's super important that even for instructors, that they still continue to take classes. Because I feel like it's very easy to get stagnant and just comfortable with your skill level. So, like you said, always learning, always trying something new.
Absolutely. Even
Yeah.
lately, like urban kids has become so popular, and there was a big affirmation between urban and Kizomba, and because it's new, so it's important for us. Like, I teach Kizomba, and I keep it close to the roots and the culture. But urban kids is very popular in Europe. So my students come and they want to know about urban kids, and I don't know a lot. But if I'm teaching at a festival and there's an urban kids beginners class, I'll take it, because um I like to dance and learn. So it's not my thing, but I respect the guys for what they do, and they've worked hard to make a stamp on this dance, and it's beautiful when it's the way they express, and that this is what makes the world diverse and beautiful, is that everybody's different. So, and how people perceive the music, it's important to tell people, I teach urban kids and I teach Kizomba, don't and know the difference. But yeah, it's good to learn everything, and understand the different differences.
Yeah, of course, of course, of course. So I guess I'm very curious. I guess we might as well just get into it. Uh, how did you originally get introduced to Kizomba? How did that come about?
I used to go to a salsa club in Limerick, which is where I live. I salsa, and this is 7 or 8 years ago, and I saw Kizomba, the teacher Alex Sanchez. He's Cuban actually, and he's an amazing Cuban salsa teacher, and he was teaching Kizomba. So this is where I started to see Kizomba, and then there was another girl from Cork, another city close. Magda Kizombera. So she taught Kizomba and used to travel to teach it. So then I used to go to parties in Cork, because Magda always had the best parties. So, but I'd have to drive all the time and travel for the dance. So so then uh my friend Donnie Dudikoff Clark from London used to come over to my town. We started to bring it into my town then. So I just felt so, I got so, it helped my confidence so much. I wanted to help others. So that's how I said, I'm going to see how this rocks in my town and see what happens. So, but I never wanted to teach. It was never my thing to teach. I just wanted to have Kizomba here in my town. So
So tell me this then, real quick. What? Tell me the name again of your first teacher. What was his name?
Alex Sanchez, he was
Alex
Cuban.
Sanchez. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I guess was he the original, I guess individual to bring Kizomba to I guess to Ireland or
It was actually Magda Kizombera and that set up classes in Cork, and she would have started to have parties and everything. But we have the DJ I work close with here, Jorge Vicente. He's Portuguese, but Angola, but he's from Portugal. So because we're close to Portugal, there is quite a few Angolan people here. So yeah, so they would have had Kizomba always here. So yeah, but it was small, So I guess Magda would have made it a little bit more commercial with bringing really good artists and DJs over. So yeah, but it was yeah. This is where I got to meet Danny as well, the artist that I started to take to my town. But it was after uh, yeah, he got busy in England, and then it was actually another dance teacher that teaches hip hop here, Lourdes. She said, "Why don't you teach?" I said, "I can't teach. I'm not a teacher." She said, "Go and teach," and I said, "Like, really?" So this is how I started to teach then with an Angolan artist here, Jose. So but then we it didn't work for us dancing together. So then I say, okay, I want to, if I'm going to teach this dance and have Kizomba in my town, and teach proper, I said I have to learn proper. So this is where I find out about Master Pechu, which I'm so lucky. There's different teachers that teach, are prepared teachers to teach, but I think God in heaven was with me when he bring me for Master Pechu, because I never look back. I pack a bag and I go to Lisbon, bag no Portuguese. I've never traveled too much. I wasn't awful confident, or so I was scared, I was nervous, but you know my want for having Kizomba in where I live was strong to bring me to Lisbon, and this is where I started teach and learn the roots and the heritage and the culture, and learn proper from Master Pechu. Yeah.
definitely. So my original Kizomba instructor, Miss Kiana from Norfolk, Virginia, she also trained at a Master Pechu as
Yeah.
well. So I'm a little bit familiar with him. I know he's an amazing teacher. I would love to hear from you. Tell me about your time in Lisbon. How long were you there, and what was it like
Um,
um
I, I
training?
I go about maybe 3 or 4 times a year for Lisbon. He's he's oh God, he's an amazing. It's quite spiritual, Kizomba becomes a way of life and an everyday. You carry it with you. So, uh, Petu, he'll always build your confidence up. He's become a really close friend in the past years, because as I've journeyed through, as I said, I never meant to be a teacher. And then I was teaching, and I love to teach in my town, but I never thought I'd be teaching the UK or in Europe, or so I was like, geez. So always I'd say, Pechu, I've got a booking in this country that so he's helped Pechu's helped me through my journey, and even through COVID. all year I've been dancing with Pechu for 4 hours a week. We have a little group that we dance, and I do more training for the traditional Afro dance to just learn more. So I do training for this as well, because I've big energy. So I like to bring, go crazy and dance. So for me, it was a good opportunity to learn more. With the traditional dance, I feel I can express myself more as an artist, understanding more in more depth the more of the dances. I can incorporate them into Ginga dance, and when we dance solo, which we have to now because of COVID, we're all in lockdown. But yeah, Pechu's been, I've been very blessed. He's taken me as a mentor. He's guided me for 5 years now. He's been traveling my journey with me. So it's really, I've been really blessed with him, and all it's not Pechu and his people, it's a family, it's a big family with Pechu, and this is what the dance and dancing Kizomba is. It's a family of people together. We come together, we laugh, we cry, we're happy, we're sad, and when you're with Pechu in Lisbon, you're in his family. We eat together, you dance together, you talk, and then you come home to your country, and like your teacher all over the world, and we bring this to our country. So I have a family here, and maybe Kazuza will come from Switzerland, or another artist come, they bring their family. So it's one big family that Pechu's created, this big of love and life, and we talk, or if I lost my aunt, and Pechu's like a big brother. We call him Kota. He's our Kota. He's our big brother, and he's there, and he's not just a teacher. He's a mentor. He's a friend. He's a brother. So yeah, he's a very, very special person. He's an important person in anybody's life. You should go for Lisbon and meet him on your vacations.
I would absolutely love that. I honestly would. So since COVID, I've had very minimal chances to actually dance. So it's been a very long time since I've been able to dance. So that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's yeah, everybody's the same. I think we missed the embrace. The last time I go for Lisbon last February, and then we have lockdown, so it's been hard. So we give class online and try and keep together as best we can. But yeah, it's been more difficult for Kizomba dancers because we hug, we're huggers, so it's difficult not to hug anybody in
Nah,
COVID. We
definitely,
come,
definitely.
yeah.
Um, I wanna let me ask you this real quick. Um, I want to give. I want you. I would like for you to give advice to any aspiring instructors out there, anyone who was thinking about getting into teaching, or is contemplating it. I want you to think about that, and I want to ask you, uh, tell me about your beginner stage in learning to teach, and in a way that could help someone who wants to get into teaching.
It's scary. Um, when you like, we're not cocky, or we become more comfortable teaching, but it's daunting. So it takes an awful lot of guts for somebody to leave the pack, and say we're here, and one goes to say, I'm going to teach. I don't know in other countries, but in Ireland, the people can be, they like to see you do well, but not better than them. So you have to be, you have to be prepared for the good as well as the bad. So as many people love you will not love you. So it's important to have a close, keep your friends close, your close friends close, and family. And then and then also just believe in yourself, and stay focused and on track. The right people will always stay with you, and you'll find your tribe. When I start to teach, I have one person, two people, next thing you look, and there's 30 people. You're going, huh? you know. So it's important to give as much time at the start to the people, you know, the one person. I used to teach in a dance company, and sometimes I'd have my Afro house class on a Friday, and nobody'd show up. More times than not, nobody'd show up. So I'd use this hour in the dance studio to practice and rehearse. And my friend Laura Jane, who owned the studio, would say, never give up. Once you give up and stop, that's it. So if nobody's there, you're there. And if one person is there, you're there. If there's 50 people there, you're there. Never give up, never give up. And also it's almost like you go off a cliff, you know, so you have to just take that step and that leap of faith. So it's just and your close friends and family will help you, you know. So so you just have to just go for it. So don't look back, don't think, just go for it. If this is for you, it will be for you, you know. And enjoy the journey. But when you teach, you learn more. Like you come prepared with all your you know everything, you've learned it all, but you really learn when you teach. You become a good teacher teaching, you know. You have to put this into practice. So it's important to teach everything, you know. Keep share Kizomba, give, you know, just keep going, and you learn together almost, you know. You're learning as a teacher, you're teaching your students, and you start small and grow. Like, you're not going to go and become an artist and have many people at the start. It's going to be small, and you don't want this. You want it small, and you flower together, you know, and you learn, and you become more comfortable in the role as a teacher then, you know. So and ask, you know, always, like I'll message my master Pechu, or, you know, Donnie, or, you know, I ask your teachers. Really, everybody'll help, you know. I'm always at the end of the phone. I'm happy to give advice, or anybody that wants some help, you know. You're not on your own.
That's perfect. That's perfect, and I definitely understand that. Um, I think in 2021, a lot of people want to see instant results, and unfortunately, it doesn't really work like that, right?
People don't see the blood, and, well, not blood, but the sweat and the tears and the, you know, the training, the constant, you know. They don't see the hard work that goes in, or the, you know, organizing class. Even I think Ireland opens up in July, so it's already where, okay, you know, is my dance studio okay? Can I come and teach? You know, your head is constantly ahead, and you know, you need to, I mean, even to prepare a class, it takes a few hours to prepare a class, you know. To, especially for me as a solo artist, I have to prepare all the lead steps, and I have to know equally the follow steps. So I have to know everything equal to be able to. So it takes a long time to prepare music. So always to prepare, you know, like if the class is an hour, you can be sure it took at least 2 hours to prepare that hour class, you know. And then that class could go a total different direction. So you have to be prepared for everything. Yeah.
Um, Let me just say this real quick. I did not know that you were both led and followed, but that is absolutely amazing. So some of the greatest dancers I know how to both lead and follow. So that is a testament to your skill, no doubt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I have an awful lot of sympathy for the leads, because I had to learn how to lead. So you know, I'll often, sometimes I always have, I say I have more guys in the class, so I'll often take time to, you know, explain the struggles I've had to lead with the guys, because sometimes there's an awful lot of pressure put on the guys, you know, to you know, girls follow, and it's hard, but the guys have to be, they're nervous too, you know. They're learning, and then they're on the dance floor, and, you know, girl might say, oh, he doesn't know how to dance, and, you know, he might take a half an hour to ask a lady to dance, and then she'll say no, and the guy's gutted, you know. And it's like, he's crushed. And so I think people, ladies, have to be more, you know, sympathetic to the fact that the guys, yes, you may be fine, strong, slap of a lad, and you think he's great, but you know what? Inside he's melting. You know, so he could be tattoos and strong, and but you know, this guy has feelings too, or you know, so you have to be always, you know, for ladies, be polite. It's only 5 minutes tops to dance a dance, so always help each other's confidence. Don't be mean, you know, just be kind and respectful. And yeah, but the guys, I definitely have the guys back on the lead thing, because you have to think you know what you're doing, and you don't, and you have to be so strong and positive, 100% positive, and you know, sure of what you're doing, and you mightn't be. So it's hard. It takes a while for the guys to learn and become comfortable to lead. So yeah, I got your backs.
So you know, I guess it's pretty obvious, but you know, I've been a lead my whole life, and I agree with everything you say. Being a lead can be very difficult. But I also want to add that I have tried to learn to follow, and I would say that that is just as much difficult, in my opinion, as leading.
I, I like Kizomba because it brings us back to the days where ladies have to be ladies and gentlemen have to be gentlemen. And ladies in the 21st century, like, do everything. You know, they cook, they clean, they work, they take over the world. But, you know, on the dance floor, you have to wait for the guy to lead you. So you have to be, so ladies have to learn then, our followers in general, you have to learn to be patient and wait for the next move, no matter how small the you know, the beat of the music is. You have to wait for to be led, to be told what to do next. So it's a nice way to just keep us that ladies are feminine, and men are more masculine. And you know, it's okay. I know there's the whole thing about feminism and sexism and all these things, but you know what? There's boys and there's girls, and you be gentlemanly and you be, you know, feminine, and we keep it simple. We keep it simple in Ireland. So, you know, that's how I roll.
Yeah, I understand that. I definitely do. Um, let me ask you this real quick. It's kind of like a change of pace, but I'm very curious to hear from you. What are some lessons that you've learned from dancing that you're able to translate to your everyday life?
Oh God, there's so many. Well, I'd say patience, number one, because when I learned to, especially with Kizomba, to just wait, you know, wait for, and you, a lot of what we do in Kizomba, we bring into our everyday life, you know, because even, yeah, patience, number one, I'd say, but also walking down the street for a lady anyhow, to carry yourself, you know, to walk proud, and you know, you don't have to be cocky, but walk proud, and know that you're loved, your parents love you, your family, you know, everybody's important. So walk tall, and carry yourself well. So I've definitely learned this, and uh, be humble, and just be kind to others, you know. um it's important, you know. So these are all things I've brought from dancing to my everyday life, you know, to just the importance of yeah, just be sympathetic. And I think I've definitely gotten softer, you know. I never cry until I went to Pechu, and the first after our first course, we finished, and everybody crying. It was the first time I cried. Now I cry all the time. I'm always crying. I love it. I'm so sentimental, but it's good, you know. I think dance helps us release our emotions, which is important, not to bottle things up. And sometimes I find, even with traditional Afro dance, when I teach this dance, it can get to the core of whatever hurts inside your body, and you might dance and cry and release. It releases all the emotion, which is important. I've really learned from traditional African dance that it's a way to release if you're happy, or if you're sad, or you know, if you're angry, if you're, you know, it's a healthy way to just put music on and dance, release these feelings, and you come out and you'll always feel better. Even this year, you know, in the parts of COVID where we could dance together, this dance more than ever coming out of this with people's mental health and just to reintegrate into community and culture and life. Traditional Afro dance really helps. I see my students, they get a lot from it emotionally as well as physically, because they can release, you know, their feelings and be together. So it's definitely, it's one of the really important parts of African culture. I think we need to take more into our life, you know, in the West, to bring the to express your emotions with your body. You know, you don't blah blah blah. We'd in Ireland anyhow, everybody dig it, you know, where for dance or release, you know, be happy, be sad, but you can release this healthy, you know. Yeah.
I definitely understand that. I definitely do. You kind of, we spoke on this earlier when we first spoke, but you know, I guess tell me, how has COVID affected Ireland? I know you said, you know, your dance studio might have closed down, but how has Ireland fared through all this?
I God, God, did we ever think we'd be living in a pandemic? You know, we talk of the Spanish flu and in Ireland anyhow. Like I was speak to I manage a charity shop, and I had a asylum seeker from Zimbabwe, and it helping me in the shop, and he just got to Ireland. So we speak about this, and I say, Jonas, I said, you know, you're say coming from Zimbabwe, you lost your parents, you know, you've seen so many wars, disease, bad things, and you're here. And I say, he handled COVID at the start really well. I say we always look at things from Ireland because we're sheltered here, and everything is far away. Nothing happens to us here. The weather's mild, you know, it's a safe kind. We've no snakes, or you know, it's a safe kind of a country to be in. People are a bit crazy, they drink too much, but it's all in all, it's a safe climate. And like, for I think it affect people because we've been sheltered here and spoiled. So like we look far away, and things happen in other countries. Nothing ever happens on our own front door, you know. Well, they do, but nothing like what happens in other countries. And so I think it affected people, but I think we learn a lot from the older people. They set the targets for us here, because we didn't know what to do. We did, you know, we were emotional wreck, but we've learned to get on with it. But it's not even for Ireland. It's the whole world has had the same feelings. I think it's crazy. You know, I'd be glad when it's gone. But I hope I learned a lot from COVID. You know, I take time to think, or you know, what can you fix in your life? You know, I read more, I dance. You know, yeah, it's been a time to because we've had so much time on our own, right? So it's like we had to get to know, we had to face our demons. So it's been interesting, you know, an interesting year. I think it's important not to think the whole picture, just get through the day, you know, safe. But it's been sad. It's been a sad year, and it's been a happy year. I look at, my parents are 81, and we're blessed to have them. But I look after my parents here, so it's been hard, you know, to make sure they're safe. Look after. I think we've learned more to look after our family and our friends, and be kind. So I hope people move forward and carry this with them, and don't take things for granted. You know, like our health and our happiness and our well-being is very important. So I think we haven't even seen the worst of it yet, because I think the mental health issues that are going to come from the repercussions is immense. And Ireland is it rains a lot, so we have a lot of mental health issues here. So yeah, so I hope our classes are full, because I think people need to be together when the country opens, and we help each other mentally, and to get back strong together. We get back together strong, I think. Yeah, so yeah, it's crazy times. crazy times. Yeah.
That's I'm pretty sure everyone across the world can say the same. Just hoping to get through
Yeah.
it. Just, yeah, I definitely understand that. I definitely do. Um, let me ask you one more question real quick, and it kind of will, I guess, a couple questions to wrap this up. I want to give some help to dancers out there. All right, so
Yeah.
just like advice. So when I say the word musicality, what does that mean to you?
Oh, it's musicality is really important, because when we dance, the master of what we do with our body is the dance, is the music and the rhythm. So how I'm going to um portray a song is different to everybody else. You know, everybody's different. So it's so important for dancers learning. Don't just go to class once a week. Download the music, you know, download Kizomba, especially with Kizomba, right? Because we have Ghetto Zouk, we have, you know, there's Zouk Antilles, there's Zouk Retro, Semba, Kizomba, Tarashina. So it's important to listen and ask your teacher, what's this song? You know, differentiate between the music. So it's so important to listen to the rhythm and let the music in. So sometimes I notice dancers, they're, you know, they seize and they just hear, you know, it's important to relax and listen. So listen at home, you know, when you cook the dinner or when you sit on the couch, you know, keep listening to music. If you hear music you don't know what it is, to send a message to somebody that knows, or a DJ, or everybody's happy to help. Sometimes I'll use, say, I use Kizomba, but every 4 or 5 classes I'll do a class with Ghetto Zouk or just Semba. So my students will know, oh, this is Ghetto Zouk, and we'll have a talk about the you know, the music, and listen to just the music and the beats and everything. There was a big thing about counting the other day on the internet. So, you know, sometimes the worst thing you'll see on the dance floor is somebody 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, counting. So so they're not listening to their music, because if they listen, they wouldn't be counting. So, you know, we have diggy diggy day, diggy diggy dung. It's important for teachers to explain the instruments used in the music, because these will help you to listen. We do need to count, but you know, you count a little bit, and then more so, you know, once the engines get revved up, then let the people listen. And you know, often, always, actually always, when I teach, I say, you know, I give some moves, or you know, whatever we're working on in the class, and I'd say, when you feel the next move, move into the next move, or you know, when you feel it yourself. So it's important not to have the dance as, you know, okay, if you're professional and you're doing a big show, of course it has to be choreographed. But you know, for when we're, which is what we teach, is social. We teach people to social dance. So we're teaching them to go to a party or a festival and be confident to dance. So you don't want them going there, okay, right, Ghetto Zouk, now here we go, bum bum bum, 1, 2, 3. No, no, no. Feel. You have to feel. You feel with your ears. You feel with your heart. You feel with your soul. So you feel the music, and so it's important to open your ears to the music. And the music is the boss, really. You know, the music tells us what to do. So yeah. So musicality is everything. So important. So important. Yeah.
Definitely. That's very true. Yeah, music. Your music is boss. You're right about that. Tell me this real quick. Um, can you give me one tip, one piece of advice that can make anyone a better dancer immediately?
Go to class. Go to class. But no, believe in yourself. And I had students in Lisbon last year, and one of them said, I had the best night dancing of my life. And I said, did you even do Saida? No. So you don't need to, you know, once you have the basic moves, the nicest dance for me as a woman will always have is the easy one. When a guy is doing all this and that and all the moves, you know, it's, and you don't know what's going to happen next, it's terrible. But if a guy, if you're for a leader, if you're confident, hold the girl, and you don't have to, you know, just dance to the rhythm of the music. You don't have to do all the moves. Just give off, be yourself, and be yourself, and give your energy to the dance, you know, to the person you're dancing with, and the music will take you there. Just relax and enjoy, and don't stand on the sidelines. Go and ask a girl, and if she says no, ask the next girl. And if she says no, ask the teacher, because usually the teachers aren't asked to dance. We love to dance. So ask us, we'll dance. We appreciate anybody that asks us to dance. So we, you know, we're not going to say no. We'll say, of course, always ask the teachers to dance, and just relax and enjoy. It's a dance. This is meet people. It's nice. It's nice. It's no pressure. No pressure. Yeah.
I love that. I really love that. That's awesome. Um, Miss Claire, you know, at this point, I wanna thank you so much, you know, for taking time out to talk to me. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, it's all my pleasure. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I had to look on Google. Where's Guam? I said, Dad, where's Guam? My brother knew. I was like, wow, this is why I love Kizomba. You're in Guam. I'm in Ireland. We're talking about a dance in Angola. This is what makes us all one. And you know, we should love and respect each other. And you know, this if everybody in the world was like this, we'd have no problems. You know, so everybody should be dancing kizomba. Then there'd be no problems at all. And thank you.
I
I
love it.
this.
Hey, I love it. I love it. I love it. Real quick. Tell me this. I know times are kind of crazy right now, but tell me this real quick. Do you have any upcoming events that you wanna plug, that you wanna share with the people?
Oh, well, I have one today. If this is on today, we're Mr. Pechu has a big event on at the moment. Mayo, it's on. If anybody goes to Claire O'Meara, my Facebook page, all the information is there. So this is a big online uh, festival on James, a guy in Brazil, and Vadim in Europe, and Pechu. So there's all really good shows and dances on that's today. Other than that, it's quiet, I think, until Cyprus, I think, is my next booking in September. So hopefully we can go to Tropical Dance Escape in Paphos in Cyprus in September. Fingers crossed. It's an amazing event festival. So, and Cyprus is beautiful. So hopefully by September, so we'll start to get more busy. But summertime, I think I'll have traditional Afro classes and Ginga, and no, I think it'll take some time. Just lots of things online at the moment. So yeah,
Okay,
and
that's awesome.
yeah, hopefully from July, I think August. Yeah.
Okay, now I understand. I definitely understand that. Um, real quick, tell me this. How can the people reach out to you? How can they get in contact with you?
Well, if they with Kizomba Embassy, also if they want to follow me on Claire O'Meara on Facebook, or I'm Kizomba Claire on Instagram, or Kizomba Ennis, Claire O'Meara, Kizomba Ennis is my big Facebook group page. So, but just Claire O'Meara Ireland, you'll see me there. And yeah, that's I would most of my work is and YouTube. I'm started on YouTube as well. So yeah, Claire O'Meara, and I'll pop up somewhere for Facebook. Yeah.
Hey, perfect, perfect. So I'm gonna upload this to Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube, and I'll make sure I put all of your social media tags in the description. I got you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. It's been
Of
such a pleasure
course.
to talk to you.
Of course, of course, of course. I thoroughly enjoyed it, Miss Claire. Last thing, are there any last words you want to share with the people before we close up this episode of the Two Liffey podcast?
I just for any dancers starting, just believe in yourself and enjoy, and you know, whether it's urban kids or kizomba, or make sure you know what you like, and just go for it, enjoy and make friends. Kizomba take you all over the world, so you'll have friends everywhere. So just for people for now, stay safe and healthy, and look after your family and friends, and this will pass, and then we'll be together and we can dance. But for now, most important is just to stay healthy and safe, and then we'll be together, and we'll be able to travel the world again and dance and share kizomba. So yeah.
I think that is a wonderful way to end this episode of the Two of You podcast. Thank you so much, Claire.
It's all my pleasure. Mwah. And
Hey,
thank you so much for having me.
of
Thank
course,
you.
of course. Enjoy the rest of your day, all right?
You too. Thank you so much, Terence.
Of
Mwah.
course, of course. All right, Claire.
That's all it is. Hey everyone, if you made it this far to all to the end of the video, I want to thank you so much. My overall goal with making these interviews and these episodes is to give a voice to dancers, to give them a platform to speak their story. So if this is of value to anyone, then that means the world to me. My overall goal is to give value to the dance community. So if you find no value in this, then I urge you to please let me know where I can improve on. I truly want to, just give value and content to the dance community. So please let me know how I can improve, where I'm messing up, because to be 100% honest with you, I'm learning along the way as I do this. I truly am. So to be able to interact with the dance community, it means the world to me, because it gives me feedback and it lets me know what I'm doing right, where I can improve upon, what I'm doing wrong, which I feel like might be more important. So please, if you all could comment and just let me know what you think, it means the world to me, because that feedback just helps me improve. So please comment as well. Please like and subscribe. That means a lot as well. But I want to say thank you so much for just watching this, because it means the world to me. I want to take you on this journey of the Two Left Feet podcast. I'm very excited for it. So once again, thank you so much.